Hey guys, this is Tommy with Geek Tyrant and Card Games on Computers. Konami was kind enough to send me one of the Structure Deck's Sacred Beasts for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I thought I would open it with all of you. This is a Structure Deck that focuses on the three Sacred Beasts from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. We've got Raviol, Lord of Phantasms, I think was it? Let's see. Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, and Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames. This structure deck brings with it a bunch of new support for the three. So you're able to go ahead and create a variety of decks centered around them. So let's go ahead and just pull them out. Let's take a look. First, we've got the game mat. I think they call it a deluxe. Yeah, they call it a deluxe game mat. I find that really funny, the fact that they call it deluxe game mat. That's really beautiful artwork, though, of the Sacred Beast. These are actually, this is the artwork from some of the new support cards for the Sacred Beast. We'll see those in card form in a bit. It looks great. I just think it's funny that they call them deluxe mats when I feel like saying that something made out of paper is deluxe is a little weird. On the back we've got, you think about using these combos and these cards from different packs. So, pretty typical stuff here. Nothing too crazy. Except I can't get it folded back properly. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. Now we get to the cards. So right here, this is one of the new supports, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, Summoning Shimmering Scraper. It's an ultra rare. It's a new support for Raviel, and it's supposed to be pretty awesome. Let's see, where's the little tab thing to open this? Is there no tab? Aha. There it is. Okay. This feels a lot thicker than Shadal Showdown or Mechanized Madness. It's kind of crazy. So in the back, we've got all the promos. We've got Dual Link promo card, get you to play that. We've got Link Evolution promo, get you to play that. I really like Link Evolution personally. So there is that. And then this is a promo for Legendary Duelist Season 1. And for the structure deck, you can scan with the QR code in order to pull up the rules and beginner's guide and all that, so that's always great. So we don't waste a bunch of paper on a bunch of rule books that most people don't need. So Raviel, Lord of Phantasm, Shimmering Scraper. He's a Dark Fiend, level 10. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by attributing 3 monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of Raviel, Lord of Phantasm, Shimmering Scraper once per turn. Quick effect, you can discard this card and target one Raviel, Lord of Phantasms you control. For the rest of this turn, its attack becomes double its current attack. Also, it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. So that brings Raviel up to a whopping 8,000 attack and can attack everything on the board once. That's pretty great. The second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 monster, add this card to your hand. So you can recycle it pretty easily. Next, we've got Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames. We've got Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder. Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. These look great as ultra rares. Armitile, the Chaos Phantasm. This is the fusion of the 3. Here's another support. This is for Hamon. This is Cerulean Skyfire. It's a continuous spell for Hamon. To special summon Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder using its own procedure, you can also use face down spells you control. Once per turn, while you control an attack position Hamon Lord of Striking Thunder, you can negate any spell or trap effect activated by your opponent, then change one Hamon Lord of Striking Thunder you control to defense position. If a face-up Uriah Lord of Searing Flames, Hamon Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raviel Lord of Phantasms you control leaves the field, you take no damage this turn. Pretty good. And then Hyper Blaze. It's a super rare continuous trap card. To special summon Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, using its own procedure, you can also use face-down traps you control. That can make things a lot easier, since you can just set traps and use them immediately for that. Once per battle, when an attack is declared involving your Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, you can send one trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Its attack and defense become the number of face-up traps on the field and the graveyards times 1,000 for the rest of this turn. Once per turn, you can discard one card, add to your hand, or special summon one Uriah, Lord of Searing Flame, summon Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raviel, Lord of Phantasms from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. So not only does this help you get Uriah out easier, because you can use face downs, it also provides buffs for Uriah, and you can use it to special summon any of them from the graveyard, which is absolutely fantastic. Then we've got Dimension Fusion Destruction. This is going to make things a lot easier for people who want to use Armitile or the other fusion card in the deck. So you banish from your hand, field, and or graveyard the fusion materials that are listed on a Phantasm fusion monster. Then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You take no battle damage from attacks involving the monster special summoned by this effect. If you control Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, Hamon Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So real quick, I actually really like the artwork on this card. I think that looks really cool to have all of them like that. I don't know, just my own thing. But this is actually a really good card. It's kind of like Miracle Fusion, but for the Sacred Beasts. So that's great. Then we get to the commons, and we've got Chaos Core, Dark Beckoning Beast, Chaos Summoning Beast, Dark Summoning Beast, Phantom of Chaos. These are all probably staples in a Sacred Beast deck now. They all do different things to search your deck and special summon things and normal summon things, and so these are great. Phantom Sky Blaster is okay. Really good for bringing out Raviel, I think. Max Reloader is okay in my opinion. Grave Squirmer is okay. Rainbow Dark Dragon, not really sure why it was in. I don't think it really fits, really. Yes, you have a bunch of dark monsters, but Tragodia, is that it? It's got a Muka Muka effect or a Slifer the Sky Dragon effect. You can also discard cards to take control of monsters your opponent controls. It's okay. We got Radian, the multi-dimensional kaiju. I wonder if this is just going to be a thing where Konami includes kaiju in all the structure decks for a while. I mean, we got, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Jizukiru, I think. In Mechanized Madness. Now we're getting Radian. Chaos Hunter, pretty good. When your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can discard a card to special summon this card, and it prevents your opponent from banishing any monsters. So that's pretty good. Puppet Master lets you pay life points to revive some fiends. Pretty good for getting Raviel out. Only trick is you have to tribute summon him, so there's that. Stygian Street Patrol. Farfa doesn't make any sense really to me. Fabled Cerberel. It's okay. It's kind of weird because it's a light beast. So I don't know. Danger, Chupacabra, another really odd pick. There are no other danger cards, so you can't really use it for anything. Okay, so then we get to the spell cards, and there's some pretty good ones in here. Opening of the Spirit Gates. When this card is activated, add 1 Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, or one monster that specifically lists any of those cards in its text from your deck to your hand. So you can search a lot of cards with this. Then once per turn, you can discard a card to special summon a Fiend with 0 attack and defense from your graveyard. And then once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous spell from a graveyard to your hand, but you can only activate 1 opening of the Spirit Gates per turn. This is really good. Fallen Paradise is a field spell designed for these guys that's really good. It also, where if you have any of the 3 beasts or Armatile in your monster zone with card effects, your opponent can't target any of them with card effects. Also, they can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So they can't be targeted. They can't be destroyed by card effects. So your opponent has to brute force their way through them, and they've got some pretty good stats, typically. So good luck there. If you control Uriah, Hamon, Raviel, or Armatile, you can draw 2 cards once per turn, which is pretty nice. Phantasmal Martyrs, well, you have at least 2 other cards in your hand and control Uriah or Hamon, you can send your entire hand to the graveyard, special summon 3 Phantasmal Martyr tokens in attack position. Now this one, I'll admit, I'm still trying to figure out the best use for this one, because you have to get rid of your whole hand, and so I sit there and go, well, but isn't the idea you use this to get the Fiend so you can then summon your Raviel? It gets you your 3 Fiends for Raviel, but you have to get rid of your hand. So I guess you've got to pair it with like the Fallen Paradise to discard your hand, draw 2 cards, and pray one of those is Raviel. Or I guess you could use something to search it out. Make sure you have something already set so that you can search it or something. So maybe I still gotta figure that one out. Spell Chronicles is okay. Terraforming, that's gonna be really good for getting Fallen Paradise. Set Rotation, not really sure why, but okay. I don't know. Mound of the Bound Creator, it's okay, but really Fallen Paradise is what you want to use. 1 for 1, that'll let you get a lot of your level 1 Fiends out. The Beginning of the End, you have a lot of darks, so I would probably put more stock into the Beginning of the End than Rainbow Darkness Dragon. Lets you draw 3 cards. So Pot of Desires, I personally have a hard time seeing a lot of use for Pot of Desire. I really struggle with Pot of Desires and using it, but everyone keeps saying it's a good card, so it must be. Owner Seal, I guess that's to get your Kaiju back, I guess. Field Barrier, it's a continuous spell, and it'll protect your Fallen Paradise, so that's cool. Swords of Concealing Light, Mystical Space Typhoon, good old staple card there. Awakening of the Sacred Beast. This is really cool. It has different effects depending on how many of the Sacred Beasts you have out. If you have 1 or more, each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you gain life points equal to the attack of that monster. If you have 2 or more, you can negate the activated effects of monsters your opponent controls. And if you have all 3, any monsters sent to your opponent's graveyard are banished instead. Plus, in addition to those effects, once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous trap from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty nice. Escape from the Dark Dimension lets you bring back a banished dark monster. Shape Sister, it's a trap monster. That's a fiend. So cool. Imperial Custom protects your other face-up continuous traps. Mistake is okay. Players can't add cards to their hand except through drawing, which could be good. Dark Factory of more production. This lets you tribute a monster from your hand or field in order to draw a card. There we go. But you can only use it once per turn. Then we've got Phantasm Emperor Trilogy. He requires 3 level 10 monsters. If it's special summon, or if another monster is special summon from the graveyard to your field, while you control this monster, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, okay, not bad. And then we got the 2 tokens, which I think look pretty cool. So there you have it. There is the structure deck Sacred Beast. I think Konami could have been a bit more clever with the naming. Mechanized Madness, that's a cool name. Shaddoll Showdown, that sounds pretty awesome. But just simply saying Sacred Beast, I personally feel is a bit of a misfire. One last comment. I think it's a little odd that the main Raviel support got turned into an ultra rare, while the supports for Uriah and Hamon were only super rares. I feel like that's a bit of a diss. I know Konami can't turn everything into ultra rares, and I understand the importance of turning these 3 and Armityle into ultra rares, but at that point, maybe make that a super, or just say screw it and have a bunch of ultra rares. So just some thoughts. But overall, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to get 3 together and see what I can put together with that. And until next time, what do you think of this structure deck? What do you plan on doing with it? What are you most hyped for?